Hello everyone, this is Andrew. I am a registered nurse for the past 22 years. I'm also an ex-smoker and a vapor. So I want to make a video explaining a couple of things. It's very difficult to watch the media and to hear people talk about vaping when I know what it's done for me. And I use it as a harm reduction tool. I tried Xanax twice, used patches, gums, lozenges, even little inhalers before the current type vaporizers were available. But back in 2011, I was able to put down smoking permanently by using a vaporizer, and I continue to use it because I feel that it's definitely the best method for me that actually worked. So, seeing and hearing everything that's been going on, especially this summer, let me say this too, vaping's been around for about 15 years, and we have not had any associated deaths with using it until this past summer. And the reason that that's happened is because there are cartridges that were abused. Basically, they were injected with a vitamin E acetate and THC, which the THC didn't do anything, but the vitamin E acetate is a fat, and it basically can't get absorbed through the lungs, and so these people wound up building it up in their systems and dying from not being able to exchange air. So the CDC, the FDA, the government has known basically that the regular nicotine-based vaping was not to blame for this, however allowed the misrepresentation to occur so that people would lump it all in together. And then there's been this sudden crisis related to teen vaping, and all of these things have kind of compounded on each other to cause a hysteria that governors in Michigan, New York, Massachusetts have been able to make decisions without legislation to affect vaping and to control it to the point that it's being banned in several areas. Well, if you look into this and you actually understand the data to vaping as it relates as a harm reduction tool, it is not an unsafe thing compared to smoking. We'll just say that, okay? There's still a lot of research that needs to be done on vaping to determine how much safer than smoking it is. But we know emphatically that it is a better thing than smoking. Smoking is actually lighting tobacco on fire. Vaping is not a tobacco product, even though it's labeled as such. It's a mislabel. It's a misrepresentation. It does have nicotine in it. Some of it does. But that's the closest it gets to smoking. That and you inhale it. Okay. So, people see it and they think smoke. It's not smoke. It's a totally different situation. However, we are seeing this banning of vaping products under this mass hysteria, and I just hope that people will kind of take a step back and look at what you're being fed and realize that this has been a complete railroading of the situation with vaping, and unfortunately it's going to cost a lot of lives, if we allow this to happen. But again, I'm not sure exactly what needs to happen to block this type of thing, because when your own government labels something incorrectly from the very start and then creates this agenda to eliminate it, it's kind of hard to know what to do. There's not really anywhere to turn for it. But I do want to make my understanding known, because if it helps somebody quit smoking in the future, then I'm completely for that. I don't know where it's going to go completely, but I know from my own health's sake and from the research that I've done into it that vaping, nicotine, is a much safer thing to do than smoking. And if you cannot quit smoking and just put it down or not do it anymore, that it is a awesome tool to use to keep yourself off of it. And now might be the time to get into it, because I don't know what the future holds. There's a lot of things coming up. There's a lot of, like I said, banning of products and things. If you considered using it and you were on the fence, look into it, do some research. I totally support people making their own decisions related to it. I did not want to just not say before this goes any further that this is a bad thing. This is a really bad thing for public health, and we're going to see the impact of it, unfortunately, firsthand. I have worked in the acute care healthcare industry for 22 years, and I see the end results of smoking. I see the end of the line, and that's what they're attempting to perpetuate, and they're trying to keep as the status quo, and it has a lot to do with money, it has a lot to do with control, and that's basically it. That's all I wanted to say for the most part. I'm trying to keep it short. Y'all have a good one. Thank you.